Behind closed doors, the Legal Affairs Committee has to deal with a sensitive and explosive case, the immunity of an MEP. If he is a potential criminal, he loses his immunity, but if there is a conspiracy behind the accusation, he maintains his immunity. To be transparent is key for the European Parliament. Members are even asked to declare, in a public register, all their financial interests. There should be no political doubt. Everything in the European Parliament should be as clean as possible. In 2010, the European Parliament followed the recommendation of the Legal Affairs Committee. They lifted the immunity of Viktor Uspaskich. This disastrous decision was taken because key elements were not yet known. The plenary did only knew half of the story. With additional facts, the case gets a totally different perspective, according to Viktor Uspaskich. He is now able to present the complete case to his colleagues. It is a story about a conspiracy against him and his party. After receiving new information, new arguments allow us to look deeper into the case. And this is not only my case, this is not only something private, this is important for the people who voted for me as well for the whole of the society, because I represent them. I am the head of a political party. Those who voted for us, the whole society, expects a response of the European Parliament to look deeper into the case. The European Parliament should be alerted if a conspiracy is the real background, like in other cases it happened already in the past.
But the immunity is there to make sure that MEPs can do their political work in freedom, that they can make their political statements in freedom and do not run the risk of being politically prosecuted.
The accusations are coming from Lithuania. According to the Lithuanian constitution, a political party can be forbidden. An accused might be condemned to prison. This is the worst-case scenario, probably the end of a political career. The responsible prosecutor believes to have strong arguments. We have collected quite a lot of different evidence. First of all, testimonies made by witnesses who confirm that the party had received illegal funding, and also documents which show that this illegal funding did take place. Many general allegations, but where are the concrete details that Viktor Uspaskich took how much money from where, handed it over to whom? To understand better who is Viktor Uspaskich, we go to Kėdainiai. It is his hometown. It's a small city in the center of Lithuania. Nice renovated houses and public places everywhere. Viktor Uspaskich is known and liked by everyone. A wedding couple invites him to have a walk together to the marketplace. This tourist spot had attracted a visitors group. No doubt that the recent polls are right. The former Minister of Economy is still one of the most popular politicians. The visitors wonder what he did for Kėdainiai. I would even give my last penny and even my last shirt for the city, he is kidding. But to do so, I have to earn this penny first. Everyone understands this side attack against the political parties in power who spend money they do not have.
Since
Viktor Uspaskich arrived 23 years ago, the situation of the city improved considerably. He renovated many things, he is honest, he's just, he sticks to his words. It is easy to work with him, and if there's a problem, you can always speak to him. I think the accusations against him are purely political. This is part of a political game and will end nowhere. Viktor Uspaskich acted in the past for the benefits of the city, and he will continue. Threats to condemn him or even put him into prison, I cannot believe it.
apie kažkokį tai nubaudimą ar pasodinimą į kalėjimą, čia net juokingai ir skamba. Aš manau, kad pasibaigs niekuo.
2 minutes away from the city center, the cannery factory of Viktor Uspaskich. One of the most successful products, pickles from local farmers. As a TV channel had a comedy series about pickles and Viktor, he decided to promote this with his own picture on the label. As successful is his ice factory, Dadu. After first importing the ice cream from Poland, he built up sales points and created his own ice factory. The idea, only fresh milk for the production. The ice is exported even to Germany and the United States. These are 2 examples for the companies with 3,000 employees who belong to his holding Viconda. Viktor is also a deeply religious man. He paid out of his own pocket the renovation of the St. Joseph Church in Kidanie. At home, he spends as much time as possible with his family. Basketball is on TV. His youngest daughter does not know about the dirty political maneuvers, but the rest of the family do. The accusations had an important impact. Different myths had been created. The accusation aimed as well on my private life. They tried to break up the relationship with my wife. All this had serious consequences as well on my children. My eldest daughter, for example, she's changing her family name. She wants to use the maiden name of her mother instead of our family name. And the reason is, she do not want to be disturbed by these allegations while studying at the university. She wants to finish her studies. Not only verbal threats, a military grenade was thrown. My wife called me in the night. She was very scared. There was an explosion and a big hole. All this here was destroyed. After repairing the damage, you can still see at the wall here the impact. Accusations against him started when he had to leave urgently his country. He was informed that the house of his mother, living in Russia, burnt down. His mother eyewitnessed how his brother died in the fire. The day he left to stand by his mother, the attack against him and the Labour Party started. The State Security Department is a centerpiece of the conspiracy. It is said that they got the order from a secret group of powerful men without any official control or legal basis. People in Vilnius believe this secret department is still acting like the KGB in the old times. For MPs in the Lithuanian parliament, this situation is not acceptable. This absence of control was used by a small group of people. I speak of them as statesmen. The media call them as well statesmen. Members of this group started to control the State Security Department. Among them, journalists, high-ranking civil servants, members of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as well as from the State Security Department, and others. He published all in this book. And as an experienced politician, he also has a clear understanding of the system in his country. You can say that our system is not independent. State Security Department has a problem. It is itself under supervision. There are people who collect information about our Secret Service agents. There is no justice, no rule of law.
Labai blogai ir už tai nėra teisingumo Lietuvoje ir už tai to nevyksta.
The Vilnius court is dealing already for more than 3 years with the case of Viktor Uspaskich and the Labour Party.
Turiu pagrindą kalbėti apie tai, kad teismas yra šališkas.
I have reason to say that the court is not independent. In the bill of indictment it is written that he's a businessman, but here he is accused as a politician. For a court, it is very difficult to condemn someone who is a leader, a president of a political party.
Partijos pirmininką, partijos vadovą.
In other words, is the court biased? This is the understanding of most of the Lithuanians. Every Monday morning the same procedure. Everyone knows it is not about justice, but the influence of the hidden group of the so-called statesmen. Was their interest to limit his activities during the election campaign? Viktor Uspaskich complained that he was not allowed to move freely within the country. But the court decided 2008 that his political activities are reasonably limited. Whatever the final court decision will be, Viktor Uspaskich is already punished. The court expects that he is present once a week. After the hearing today, Viktor Uspaskich criticizes the decision to arrest the former accountant of the Labour Party. Suffering from a long-term disease, the accountant was urgently hospitalized. But the court did not accept the proof of the doctor.
Po posėdžių atvažiavo mano advokatas ir papasakojo.
After the last hearing of the court, my lawyer visited me in hospital and informed me that the request to appear in front of the court was changed into an arrest warrant. This means they want to transfer me from this bed here into a prison hospital. Only because they say I failed to be present at court without any excuse. But this is not true.
Neatvykau į teismo posėdį, nors iš tikrųjų tai netiesa. Ką aš galiu komentuoti šiuo metu apie tą bylą, nes
What can I say to the accusation? I told them already that I'm not guilty. I have only fulfilled my duties as an accountant. I did nothing else than my job. But suddenly I become a part of something where I had no responsibility.
kas įvyko, tai čia jau aš manau, kad čia tik tai aplinkybės, į kurias aš papuoliau.
The following day, early evening, the alarm goes off at the party headquarters. After checking windows and doors, the guard from the security company informs the switchboard. No intruder to find. But the alarm system clearly indicated the accountant office had been targeted. It is not the first time that someone visited the party headquarters without prior appointment. All the offices with the documents were searched by 7 members of the State Security Department some years ago. Easy work for the secret agents.
Kada sužinojau apie vykdomą kratą, atvykusi čia.
When I was informed about the search, I went immediately to our headquarters. But I had to wait in front of this door here for 6 hours. A man with a mask stood at the entrance and prohibited everyone to enter. Even when I explained to him that there are only workers inside as witness, who are not even members of our party, I was not allowed to enter. The agents from the State Security Department searched for papers about financial transactions and other accounting documents. I insisted to be present, but I was refused.
Į patalpą. Tačiau buvo atsisakyta tą padaryti.
But she stood firm even when the political pressure intensified.
Supratau, kad aš turiu kovoti ir visa mūsų komanda suprato, kad reikia kovoti.
We had to fight. Everyone in the Labour Party knew it. We were not waiting for help from outside. All our members of parliament in the Seimas came under political pressure. They got offers from other parties to join them. I fought against this as the president of our group, which was the biggest in the parliament at that time. Now I'm happy that we were able to resist to this pressure in the Lithuanian parliament. We continue to fight.
Ir mes visi supratom, kad turime kovoti.
There has to be someone in Lithuania who knows more. The trace is leading to Gediminas Kirkilas. He had accepted to give us an interview. When we arrive, we cannot find him. 2 colleagues help us by phone.
Gediminai, čia vienas iš užsienio svečias nori su tavim trumpai pakalbėti, jei gali, sekundę.
Unfortunately, he changed his mind. No interview. We could have raised the question, is he really a member of the so-called statesman? According to confidential cables made public by Wikileaks, he revealed the background of the conspiracy. How was engineered the departure of Viktor Uspaskich from Lithuania? How Viktor Uspaskich became a victim? How a coup was organized within the party of Viktor Uspaskich? And behind all this information, Gediminas Kirkilas. European Parliament in Strasbourg. Viktor Uspaskich just arrived from Vilnius. Now everything seems to have changed. He will be able to present the whole story. Meetings, questions, phone calls. Viktor Uspaskich and his team are successfully correcting the misperception about him and his case.
The European Parliament never had such a striking case of political persecution in the past. It is clearly stated in the case law of the European Parliament and of the European Court of Justice that the immunity may not be waived in cases where there is a presumption that the prosecution was started in order to harm the political activities of the member. This is a legal case and people shall look into the details. They shall not take decisions according to their political sympathies or antipathies.
Now the case attracts even international media.
The case of Mr. Uspaskich I shall not reopen, that's a decision of the Juri Committee, but shall be discussed in the Juri Committee again, based on the new documents in Wikileaks, who, in my opinion, illustrates that there were some political maneuvers behind all this. And that is thanks to Wikileaks.
What is the conclusion for immunity cases if the legal system in one member state does not fulfill European standards? We want to have member states in the European Union who follow the rules, including an independent legal system. When the legal system is not independent, there is a danger that it can be misused. This leads to the question, can we agree in the Legal Affairs Committee to lift the immunity? A lot of MEPs have now a clear opinion on Viktor Uspaskich. It's an immunity case. The immunity must be preserved. I listened to Viktor in the committee. I'm a lawyer since 40 years, and it is clear for me that someone who speaks like him, you can agree with him or not, but he is a sort of person who says the truth. The members of the European Parliament will now have another time the decision in their hands. Due to confidential documents, a revision is possible. The Legal Affairs Committee took recently the first step. The case is reopened. Viktor Uspaskich will have a second chance, and this time he will be able to present the whole story, including the conspiracy. A second chance as well for the European Parliament to clean up a dirty story from Lithuania.